Hello! For those of you that saw my last video where I was going a bit crazy manic, I am feeling a lot better now. Okay, I've written a list of just a couple of things that I want to just say to you about what's happened recently as a little update. So basically I did end up going to the ER because of hallucinations that I was having and just general kind of crazy psychotic manic-y kind of behaviour. It was my husband that took me to the ER. I was saying some really weird stuff and he kind of freaked out and decided to take me. So I don't remember what I said in my last video or anything as usual. So anyway, I had been hearing stuff. I felt really weird about the neighbours. I really thought that the neighbours were like spying on me. It sounded like I could hear them through the walls. Then I was hearing all these computer noises in the walls as well, and I thought that they were putting like things in, like computer things in the wall so that they could spy on me. And it was all kind of freaking me out a little bit, but I was keeping it to myself. And then meanwhile I was kind of getting more and more irritable. I tend to have mixed states of mania where I don't get euphoric, but sometimes I do get a little bit euphoric, but generally irritable and feeling very sort of angry and agitated, and I was getting a lot of that. Anyway, I came down from in the morning after sleep, and I went to look in the mirror, and I looked in the mirror, and my eyes, I swear to God, like they're these little camera things, like they like focus like that in my eyes, and it just freaked me out, really scared me. And then I was like, oh, I really need to see a doctor, to my husband. And he was like, well, what's wrong? And I said, well, I just don't feel very well. I was trying to be really casual about it. And he was like, you have to tell me what's going on, like you have to tell me. So I told him about the seeing cameras in my eyes and the neighbours and stuff, and he was really freaked out too, so he said, right, we're going to the emergency room. Anyway, we went there, and they didn't really do much. They were really nice, but they couldn't do anything. They were like, well, we can't. They said, do you want to harm yourself or anyone else? And I didn't. So they said, well, we can't admit you unless you're like actively suicidal or homicidal or whatever, which I wasn't. When I got to the ER and on the way there, I started feeling really weird. Like my head was like an antenna or something, and I could hear all these like broadcasts from like sounded like radio stations from like the whole world. I felt like I could hear the whole world. And when I got to the place, like my brain went blank and I stopped being able to move. I mean, looking back on it now, it was like a catatonic state, but I couldn't even move. Like I was just like stuck like this, and then they'd like move my arms, and then my arms would just like stay in the same position and stuff. It was very weird, and I could hear them talking to me and asking me questions, but I couldn't answer. I just felt like nothing. I was kind of like a passive observer of my own brain. Like I couldn't actually actively use it. It was just there observing and hearing what was going on. It was very weird. They gave me some Ativan, and that seemed to stop that a bit. And then they talked to me. Basically, they eventually sent me home. They gave me some Zyprexa, which knocked me out and made me sleep. And then I just rested. It took Zyprexa for a few days. I managed to get an emergency psych appointment, but I say emergency, it's like a week. It was a week away, but that was emergency compared to the month away one that I would have had, that I did have, which was just stupidly far away, but that's the only one that I could get. Anyway, what was I saying? And the Zyprexa. Oh, yeah, I don't know. I started feeling a bit better taking the Zyprexa. It just knocked out all my thoughts, and it was good. So I went to see the psych. She interviewed me and talked to me, and she diagnosed me as bipolar 1. I have had the bipolar diagnosis already, but I've never had the bipolar 1, so she's definitely said yes, that's that. And then I've got some anxiety, like panic disorder and stuff too, which I don't really know if I have panic disorder. I've had a couple of panic attacks lately, but that's, I think, it's just from, moving and stuff. No, I do definitely still have some anxiety thingaming. Anyway, so I went to see her, and that was good. She was good. I liked her. Then, so I carried on taking the Zyprexa, and I ended up being allergic to it. So it was really weird. Because I know you put on weight with anti-psychotics anyway. Ow. But, oh shoot, what was I saying? Put on weight. Oh yeah, but I was like starting to put on loads of weight. Like in about a day, I'd put on 6 pounds. My stomach was massive. I couldn't get my trousers on, and I was just like fucking massive. And I went out for a run, and I could feel like my whole body like like a big lump. And like the thing that really like started worrying me though is that my ankles kind of disappeared, and my leg was just like, my calves were really puffed up, and then it suddenly made me think, because I'd also been itching a lot too, and I suddenly thought I'm allergic to the Zyprexa. So I told my psych about all the symptoms, and she said yes, you definitely are, stop taking it now. And luckily within about 2 days I'd gone back down again. But yeah, I just thought, oh my god, I'm getting really fat really quick. But it was allergic reaction. So she's put me on Seroquel, which I'm not that happy about, because I was on Seroquel before. I mean, I did a video about this a couple of years ago that's on here. That could type in Seroquel hell or something. So I wasn't very happy about that, but she said it's the one that's most like Zyprexa, and as that had worked so well for me, other than the allergy, that it would be good. And she's given me like a really small dose. She said that hopefully it won't give the side effects that it gave before, that I hated so much. So I'm going to try it. I actually upped my dose yesterday. I asked her if I could, because I was starting to like I felt really good with the Zyprexa in my head, and then since I stopped taking that, I felt it drop a little bit, and I feel like the lid's not on as much as it could be. Is the way I like to describe it. I'm starting to have weird little thoughts pop into my head, and my mind goes blank a lot. It's really annoying. And this thing I have noticed like 3 times now, and I did tell my psychiatrist about this. I've noticed symbols, like little pictures drawn or in things, and I can see them, and it's the same pictures, and it means we're still here. So whoever they are, and I don't know who they are, but it's like a little symbol, like even though you're feeling better and taking the drugs, we're still here. And another mind block. This is happening a lot too. Yeah, so there's some funny little things going on, which the Zyprexa, they weren't going on with the Zyprexa. So I told her, and so I'm taking more Seroquel. now. I just upped it yesterday, and I'm upping it again slightly today as well. I think that is probably my update for now. So generally, I'm good. I'm settling into living in the United States. I've been here 2 months now. I've passed my driver's test, so I have a license and a car. I actually even went to a job interview, and I got a part-time job as well, which I don't start for a few weeks because I'm going on vacation for a couple of weeks at the end of this week to Texas and Arizona, which will be cool to see family. My husband's family, obviously my family now too. So generally settling in pretty well into life here. Just a bit bored sitting around the house being a housewife, but I'm gonna start working part-time soon, so we'll see how that goes. I haven't worked for quite a long time. I really need to get out of the house and do something. Anyway, I will leave that update there. Always good to hear from you, so please do comment, etc. And yeah, that's it. Alright, I will see you soon.